In this video, we'll be talking about the words that describe personality traits. Every human being is unique. Everyone's personality is determined by a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Now, let us look at 15 personality types that result from the way culture, growth, family background, and environment interact with heredity. Number 1. Charismatic. Charismatic person is someone who has special magnetic charm or appeal. For example, he was a charismatic figure with great appeal to the public. This word has been derived from a Greek word charisma, which means grace, favor, gift. Number 2. Ascetic. An ascetic person is someone who practices strict self-denial as a measure of personal and spiritual discipline. For example, he lived an ascetic life. Ascetic has been derived from Greek words asket, which means monk or hermit, and askeo, which means I exercise. Number 3. Altruist. An altruist is a person who has unselfish concern for the welfare of others. For example, he was an altruist and he loved others better than himself. Altruist has been derived from a French word autrui, which means other people. Number 4. Neurotic. A neurotic person is someone who shows signs of mental disturbance and behaves strangely in an anxious way. For example, he seemed a neurotic, self-obsessed character. The word neurotic has been derived from Greek words neuro, which means of nerves or the nervous system, otic, which means abnormal condition. Number 5. Egoistic. An egoistic person is someone who is self-centered or selfish. For example, their boss is egoistic in nature. Egoistic has been derived from a Latin word called ego, which means I. Number 6. Egotistic. An egotistic person is someone who shows an exaggerated sense of self-importance. For example, he is forever boring his friends with egotistic lamentations. Egotistic has also been derived from the word ego, which means I. Number 7. Extrovert. An extrovert person is someone who is outgoing and socially confident. For example, I had been a very extrovert person, living life to the full. Extrovert has been derived from English and Latin words extra, which means outside, and vertere, which means to turn. Number 8. Introvert. An introvert person is someone who feels more comfortable focusing on their inner thoughts and ideas. For example, she is an introvert and often uncomfortable with loud people. Introvert has been derived from Greek and Latin words intro, which means inside, and vertere, which means to turn. Number 9. Ambivert. An ambivert person is someone who has a balance of extrovert and introvert features in their personality. For example, I try to be an ambivert whenever I can. Ambivert has also been derived from English and Latin words ambi, which means both, and vertere, which means to turn. Number 10. Ingenuous. An ingenuous person is someone who shows innocent or childlike simplicity. For example, he looked at her with ingenuous eyes. Ingenuous has been derived from a Latin word ingenuous, which means native or inborn. Number 11. Congenial. A congenial person is someone who is friendly, pleasant, or agreeable. For example, she was congenial and easygoing. Congenial has been derived from the words con, which means same or together, and genial, which means warmly and pleasantly cheerful. Number 12. Conscientious. A conscientious person is someone who is diligent and performs the duty well and thoroughly. For example, she was conscientious with regard to her duties as an examiner. Conscientious has been derived from a French word conscience, which means to be conscious. Number 13. Misanthrope. A misanthrope person is someone who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. For example, he was a mean-spirited misanthrope. Misanthrope has been derived from a Greek word misanthropos, which means hating humankind. Number 14. Misogynist. A misogynist person is someone who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced against women. For example, I was amazed that someone would draw such a misogynist, hateful cartoon. Misogynist has been derived from a Greek word, misane, which means to hate, and gene, which means woman. Number 15. Misogamist. A misogamist person is someone who hates marriage. For example, he's a misogamist who doesn't accept many wedding invitations. Here, misogamist has been derived from Greek word mis, which means hate, and gami, which means marriage. So let's revise. A person practicing self-denial is ascetic. A person who is naive or innocent is ingenuous. A person who turns inward is an introvert. A person who is friendly is congenial. A selfless person is altruist. A person who is diligent is conscientious. A person who hates marriage is misogamist. A person with magnetic charm is charismatic. A person who dislikes women is misogynist. A person who hates people is misanthrope. An outgoing person is extrovert. A selfish person is egoist. A self-centered person is egotist. A mentally disturbed person is neurotic. And a person who is neither turned inward nor outward is ambivert.